just spitballing here. What about if you went in to an LLM as a couple, you talk to an LLM, and the prompt would be, please respond to me as James Earl. So you put in all of James Earl's
Yeah,
information, and
yeah.
then John and Sarah sit down and they say, right, we have this problem in our marriage. Please respond to us as James Earl would. Do you think that might be
What?
possible at some point?
No,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
straightforwardly, the reason why is the LLM might get my semantic content exactly right
Yeah.
and be able to deliver, a few sort of characteristic phrases, and even be able to work out what the perspective was which they meant to create. But what they're not able to do is listen to the two in the way that you're, as a therapist, meant to listen, which is beyond the semantic content and trying to work out what it is that's really being said. Also, how does let's suppose the symptom in the room is the couple not having sex, and one of the reasons they're not having sex is because the guy is suffering from ED. Okay, I mean, a typical approach to that might be to say, well, have you tried doing this, that, or the other? It's a solution-focused problem, and I'm not saying that can't work. But the interesting thing from my point of view is, what is the ED expressing? So the ED is a inarticulate form of speech. Symptoms are inarticulate forms of speech. I don't know how an LLM would really replicate that. I mean, I think it's certainly beyond where they are at the moment. So whether they'll ever be able to do that, I don't know. I suspect that the reason they can't do that is that, if you like, the therapist should have gone through a process of therapy themselves, which allows them to understand a little of their own unconscious, the way I put it, the presence of the desire of the other in their speech, which allows them to identify that more easily in the other person.
Okay.
Also allows them to be the transferential other for the client. This is something which, of course, an LLM can't do, because the LLM doesn't conceive itself to be the transferential other.
Yes, of course. So we're saying that the LLM is great at dispensing information.
Yeah, good at dispensing information.
If it's about your thoughts, then it can pick up on your thoughts, and it can pick up where there may be self-sabotaging behavior, where you may be overcritical.
So where it will really score is with the ego psychology movement in the States, which comes down from Freud, but probably begins with Anna Freud and then develops. And the whole idea is that there is a battle between the ego, the id, and the superego, and that the therapist's job is to reinforce the ego to make a strong ego. That's the job. I think LLMs are good at that. They make you feel good about yourself. But, the whole alternative view is that the ego anyway is a fiction. So reinforcing the ego is not helpful. It's just increases the level of fantasy or illusion.